Everybody, welcome back to the Scentatar Fragrance channel. My name is Benjamin and I review fragrances, colognes, perfumes, and all things scent related. I love to help y'all smell great, smell fantastic, get the best fragrances for the money, learn about fragrances, and we just love to have fun here. So thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're coming back to my channel, if you're a subscriber and all that, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. So let's jump into this topic today. Top 10 truths about compliments. Perhaps why you want compliments, and perhaps how you can possibly get the compliments. Now, first off, before I start this is a very important topic. This is a hot button issue, a topic that's discussed here and there, sometimes with a lot of passion behind it. There are some in the fragrance community who are completely on one side or the other. Some say that compliments or really fragrances can drop certain undergarments. They say that compliments are the end-all be-all, the only reason why somebody would wear a fragrance. There's an awful lot of young men, and I understand why you would be drawn to a fragrance, especially with society and the fragrance companies really putting out the message of the power of a fragrance, how fragrances can be effective for you, trying to get out there, have some game, and have a fun time. So that's definitely a huge factor. And there are people on the opposite side of this who say that compliments shouldn't matter at all, shouldn't be a thought, shouldn't be considered whatsoever. I want to be somewhere in the middle. I do think compliments can help us, encourage us in this fragrance game, in our lives, and can add some spice or some joy to just our lives in general. Of course, I'm just trying to say that some people perhaps are extreme on one side or the other. Wear fragrances for you, and trust me, if you wear the right fragrances for the right occasion and follow this top 10 list and consider these things, you're going to be much more appreciated. You're going to get feel good about yourself. That's what this is all about. So the first one is you have to be approachable to get compliments. Now, each one of these topics I'm going to go on later on, probably talk about how to be approachable. Everything kind of is mixed into this one topic. But to me, being approachable specifically is about your smile. Do you smile enough? Perhaps there's a certain body language your specific culture likes. Maybe there's a certain type of mannerism that your culture, your society thinks is normal or approachable. Of course, smiling to a lot of us is something that everybody likes and everybody seems to like. It's a part of who we are as humans, to be drawn to smiling people. So if you're just not approachable in general, or if the environment is not a happy environment, you're much less likely to get compliments. And again, with the environment, some of you might work in construction, you might work in a situation that might not be conducive to compliments. So you might get more compliments when you go to the grocery store. It might not even be a part of your culture at all, but you might have to go to a social event, a networking event, a family gathering, a family reunion, a celebration, those kinds of things. Those are the kinds of situations you're most likely to get compliments. Let's just be honest. Unsolicited compliments are kind of hard, kind of few. They're not going to be as common. I think you know what I'm trying to say. The next one is you have to be confident. Now, this is probably drilled into each one of your guys' heads, especially you young men, but you young ladies, this is a huge factor. If you're approachable, if you want compliments just in general, especially with fragrances, you have to have the right amount of eye contact, not too much, not too little, but you definitely have to have enough confidence to be able to look somebody in the eye. When you're walking down the street, you're looking straight forward, you have purpose. So you're not looking at the ground when you walk, or when somebody talks to you, you don't immediately just look down and fidget with your hands or anything like that. Being confident is all about, it factors into everything. How you speak, it's a factor of how you're feeling, how you present yourself. I think people can really sense how you feel about yourself and how you're feeling a lot of the time. So just being confident, of course, is really important. Of course, a lot of people talk about it as the magic pill, as the thing that's going to fix everything, and it's not. And a lot of people don't talk about how to get the confidence. Of course, positive thinking, you got to work on your exercise, your health, have a purpose. All those kinds of things are very important, guys. So especially if you're a younger man watching my channel and you really do want compliments and those kinds of things, start there. Definitely focus on those kinds of things. So the next one is your hygiene. Now, this is an underlooked topic in the fragrance world. The fragrance cannot cover up your natural odor. Perhaps it can a little bit at a distance when you're far away from somebody, but when they get close to you, of course, your natural scent, your body chemistry is a little bit of a factor. It's not as much of a factor, I think, as some people make it out to be. That's a whole nother discussion for another day. But if your hygiene is not on point, your sweat, your body odor, all those things can mix or be take away from the fantastic fragrance that you're wearing. So definitely take hygiene into consideration, both guys and gals. It is always very important. I do personally think that natural ingredients in whatever healthcare products, whatever hygienic products you use, will make you feel better, and look into ways that you can perhaps, clear up acne or whatever it is in your life that you want to improve. And I'm not saying that you have to do these kinds of things if you don't want to. Of course, this video is all about if you want the compliments, and not everybody does want the compliments, not everybody does care. But hygiene, I think, is important just in general for your health, for your overall well-being, and really is going to factor into just about everything in this, and of course is going to factor into how you smell. That is a huge factor. So the next one is you have to dress well. Now, I'm not trying to say that you have to walk out with a new Louis Vuitton suit. I'm not trying to say that you have to walk out of the door wearing Gucci shoes or whatever the point might be. You don't have to wear a $10,000 watch. For gals, you don't have to be wearing a $5,000 diamond ring. I'm not saying those kinds of things. What I'm saying is that you just need to be well groomed, kind of like with the hygiene that we talked about. Your clothes need to be clean. Preferably not wrinkled. You don't have to have recently ironed clothes every time you walk out the door, but trust me, it really helps. I went through a stage in my life where I even ironed my jeans every day. So your image really does matter for you guys out there. It took me a while, but I didn't think clothes really mattered that much. I am more of an individualist. I hope that comes through. I'm making this list to help everybody out there. But for the longest time, I didn't think clothes really mattered that much. But maybe I'm on the complete opposite of what everybody else thinks out there, because what you wear, the brand you wear, how your fashion sense really does carry a message, really does have a meaning, and people really do pick up on those things, especially if you're a guy trying to be attractive, or vice versa, or any gender, whatever. So definitely have clean clothes, pressed clothes, and consider new shoes. I'm not saying that you have to have the newest fashion of shoes, or you always have to be wearing a new brand of shoes. But especially if you have leather shoes or fox or fake leather shoes, keep them clean, keep things presentable, and make sure that is a part. Again, I didn't think shoes were that important for the longest time, but shoes having a certain style, the shoes matching your outfit, those kinds of things are a huge factor. So the next one is your hair. Of course, everybody probably knows about this. This is probably something that you probably don't need to be told. People are huge into certain hair trends or fashion trends. Of course, I don't follow a lot of those trends, as you can tell. But your hair needs to be styled for your personality, perhaps your outfit, who you're trying to be. If your hairstyle is not matching your clothes or matching your shoes, matching some of the other things we're going to be talking about, if your hair just doesn't match your personality or anything like that, it really doesn't help things. And of course, culturally, fitting in with your culture is always a big factor with this. If your hairstyle is not appropriate for the culture or the people you're around, it's not gonna help you get compliments. And of course, this is a fragrance channel. We're talking about fragrance, but trust me, all these factors all these things are a factor in getting compliments with fragrances. So the next one is how you speak. Of course, you have to be friendly, calm, confident, those kinds of things. Again, a lot of things depend on where you live culturally. How do people speak around you? Do they use certain slang? Do they use certain phrases that are normal in their country? Do they have a certain accent? Do they have a certain way of speaking? Is there a certain kind of normal way to approach things? Do I speak first? Do you speak first? How long do we speak? What do we talk about? Those kinds of things are all a big factor. But if you're doing those things right, trust me, it helps you to be more approachable. It's going to help you to be more likely to get a compliment. I think with getting compliments, I think people aren't going to immediately give you a compliment. I think a lot of the times people are going to take a little bit of time. They're going to assess the situation, see if you're approachable and not crazy or whatever's going through their head. And if everything matches, if they hear you speak in a really nice way, or if you just seem like a good person when you're speaking to somebody, like the cashier, whatever the situation is, I think they're much more likely to approach you. So that is definitely a factor here. So the next one is how you walk. Now, I talked about posture, I think, a little bit before, but you have to walk with purpose. Maybe you're accomplished, maybe you're not. Maybe you're a young guy. Maybe you're in your teens and you haven't accomplished a lot of things yet in your life, but you just think about the dreams you have and the ambitions that you have. Step with purpose, guys. If you step with confidence, with purpose, it really makes a huge difference. I've been to malls, trust me. I've been to the supermarket, and some people in their lives, I'm not putting down on anybody, but some people wander through life and they don't seem to have a purpose or that kind of energy or that kind of passion. If you have that passion in your life, if you have that behind you, people notice, people are drawn to you, and people want to know what you're all about. So definitely take that into consideration. I can't just speak enough about this. And again, with your shoes, have those on point. People are going to notice if you're definitely walking right. They're going to definitely notice your shoes. And make sure that you have shoes that perhaps have traction. Your shoes could still be in good condition, but if you don't have good traction, you can't take wide strides when you walk, and it's going to be harder for you to really have a confident step. And you don't want to slip, of course. So how you walk is definitely a huge factor. Now, hand movement, I think, is another one of these factors that a lot of us just don't think about. A lot of us just don't talk about. My friend over there, Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, knows all about this. Certain cultures, certain people using the hands, that's a huge part of body language. It's a huge part of communication. And perhaps it's not where you live. Perhaps where you live, that's frowned down upon. I've had people in my comment sections comment that they don't want me to use my hands at all, and they just want me to have my hands to my side. So it all depends on where you live, what you think, and your society, your culture. But again, hand movement can be a powerful thing with how you are perceived and how you're approachable. And definitely consider that as a tool or an option in the fragrance world in how you come across as a person and who you just are. So the next one is none other than your accessories. Another one that's very important. I think a lot of people know about this, but they just don't think about it. Most guys know that a watch is very important. A watch is a huge part. It's like a purse for a man. It really draws people's attention. The style of the watch, how big the watch is, the brand of the watch, those kinds of things are a big factor. If the watch is clean and shiny, trust me, guys, get a microfiber cloth. But guys, your accessories say a lot about you, and they're going to help you to be a complete package. Your hat, your scarf, of course your shoes, all those things are going to affect on how people perceive you. And another one, if you are driving or if you just pulled up somewhere, of course your possessions, your car, your house, all those things of course are a factor here with your accessories. So definitely take this into consideration if you get compliments, or if you're going to get compliments. It's just what people want, what is desirable in a man or for a man. Of course, you have to be perceived of value, I guess. A lot of people out there, that's just how humanity is, especially if you're trying to be attractive to the ladies. They want somebody who does have resources. So definitely check that out. Accessories are important. The next one is mindset. Now, I've talked about mindset, about being positive, having confidence a lot here already. Having a purpose with your walk of your step, all those things. But here, I wanted to focus on mindset a little bit, just a little bit of that focus here. Now, mindset, I think that each man has to feel like he's working towards something. That's a little bit ingrained in who we are. We have to feel like we are making a positive change, or we're changing something. We have a purpose. We're accomplishing something. Maybe it's just as much as creating something with our hands. Maybe we want something with a bigger overall effect or influence, or it can be all kinds of many things. It usually is wrapped around in our career or whatever we're pursuing in life. But definitely your mindset and how you perceive yourself and the world is going to influence you and how you do all these things. How you walk, how you talk, how you speak, how you dress, all those things. So with your mindset, definitely have a attitude of success, and that you're working towards a ambition or a purpose that you have, something that you feel passionate about, something that you feel is important, worthwhile. Find that passion. And I know for a lot of us guys, and perhaps society doesn't help a lot of us guys, personally find a message or something we feel like that's important in our lives. So definitely have a purpose, and find a purpose for yourself in your life, and feel confident. Have that courage to feel confident about that yourself in that way. So definitely check it out. So that's really the last one, perhaps the biggest one. Again, mindset is very powerful. My final statements is that a compliment is really a validation of all that you are, everything that you are. Again, compliments do not define who you are. They do not really prove who you are, I guess I should say, but they really do add really support to who you are. I hope that makes sense. I hope that comes across as it's just a whole package. So again, if you're missing one of these things or a couple of these things, it's going to be much harder to get compliments. And there's a lot more that gets into compliments. I honestly think as a reviewer that unsolicited compliments are not as common, perhaps, as it is perceived by some. Because honestly, unsolicited compliments don't come to people unless you're around a lot of people. If you're in a bigger city, if you have a job where you work at a school, or if you're a college professor, I mean, think of a situation just where you're around a lot of people and you have a good amount of status. Perhaps you're a doctor. You're going to get a lot more compliments. That's just how things are. I would just encourage you to not worry about compliments. I think that if you worry about compliments, or if you try to force anything that's good, that it's less likely to happen. So just have that ambition about yourself and that desire, but just don't think about it. Do everything that's required. Put your best foot forward, and good things will come. So that's just my view of things and what I think. So definitely, guys, I hope that I was an inspiration for the guys and the gals and anybody else out there. Hope that I've helped you in your personal life. Of course, this might sound like a rant. This might sound preachy. There's a lot of topics here. You could dive into each one of these things and have a discussion on each one of these topics. But I hope that I'm a little bit of a informationalist. I don't, maybe, and I'm a intellectual. I don't really think of myself too much as one, but I do like philosophy. But anyways, I digress. I hope that I've helped somebody out there. I hope this video comes across very well, is informative, helps the fragrance community. Let me know if this was a helpful video at all, if this made a lot of sense, if this was important to you, if this video was helpful. Again, you can get compliments. Compliments are out there, but I really focus on the individual, who you are, and your personal happiness. So this has been the Scentatar Fragrance Channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Of course, if you've liked my content, if you've stuck by to the end of this video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I think that you like my content. I'll see y'all next time. Of course, wear what you love, and I'll see you next time, and bye.